Thanks for travelling with us. Week 1 down, 3 more to go. So come join us on our UK road trip. Pinstow Holiday Park. Many of the holiday homes, or cabins as some people call them, are rented out by the owners in the periods that they don't use them themselves. What a great idea. We had everything our hearts desired, and what we didn't have, we didn't miss. And if we did miss it, we could always go and buy it. All the comforts, and the kitchen was very well equipped. Fortunately, we had our own sun umbrella, although small, because that was something that wasn't present. Welcome to our home for the next 6 days in Pinstow Holiday Park. When Googling this address, you might find some negative information, but believe me, we had a great time here. The facilities were good. There's a lot that needs upgrading, but it is definitely an address worth keeping in mind. And before we left the park, we actually had a good walk around, and there's a lot more building going on. The new swimming pool is ready, and honestly, the people running the restaurant and the bar and the activity centre, they're just lovely and will do anything to give you a good time. My only bugbear was no Wi-Fi. Internet itself was really difficult here. And the Sunday roast, well, I couldn't fault it. I'm not sure whether it was such a good idea to undertake a walking trip again so quickly after our arrival, especially seeing we'd already walked so much each and every day of our journey so far. But off we went, and it didn't disappoint. We didn't get to the castle ruins itself, we saw them from afar, but we certainly did have a challenging and lovely walk. Excuse the pronunciations. The village Tintagel, or Trevena, the Cornish name, meaning village on a mountain, and the nearby castle are associated with legends surrounding King Arthur. In recent times, this area has become quite the tourist attraction. There have been so many discoveries in and around this area. Excavations around Tintagel Castle have supported the notion of trade goods there, with ships from along the Atlantic coast and the Mediterranean Sea bringing pots carrying wine or oil in the early medieval period. The extensive Tintagel slate quarries are largely responsible for the jagged coastline south of Tintagel and stretching all the way to Strand. The quarries were worked from the 15th until the early 20th centuries. The slate was mainly used for roofing, and the remains of quarry buildings and machinery strongly points can be seen from both sea level and the southwest coast path. Despite the clouds overhead, it wasn't actually cold. It just looked a bit more dismal than it really was. But it was a wonderful walk, and the fresh sea air did us the world of good. But I must say that climb back up was a challenge. A leisurely drive back and a very healthy and tasty dinner, and the day came to an end. We had a very relaxed start that morning, but we did have a plan. Bude, here we come. Let me tell you a little bit about Bude. Bude is a seaside town in northeast Cornwall, England, in the civil parish of Bude Stratton, and at the mouth of the River Neat, also known locally as the River Stat. Its earlier importance was as a harbour, and then a source of sea sand, useful for improving the inland soil. This was transported on the Bude Canal. The Victorians favoured it as a seaside resort with new rail links, and it became a popular seaside destination in the 20th century. A section of Bude's coast, which is located between Compass Cove to the south and Fursey Cove to the north, is a site of special scientific interest, noted for a geological and biological interest. The stratified cliffs on Bude give their name to a sequence of rocks called the Bude Formation. Many formations can be viewed from the southwest coast path, which passes through the town. The walk along the beach and the subsequent areas was absolutely delightful, and we really enjoyed our visit here. More to come later. Let's walk.